Next, I want to talk a little bit about some right and left hand synchronization techniques. There's some stuff in here, and it's not so much about the tab. This is about where you want your focus to be when you're practicing. Tom and some of the other guys are going to talk a little bit later on about how to integrate things, like if you work on a little partial scale or lick or something, and how to turn it into something bigger. This is going to focus on kind of a micro practice sort of thing, where we're just going to play in one small area of the neck, working on small licks, small type runs. But what we're going to do is think about what our right hand's doing, what our left hand is doing, and how our body feels when we're working on it. When you focus on just a small area of the fretboard for practice, you can really exclusively work on developing your technique, because you don't have to worry about getting from one end of the neck to the other. And all these patterns that are in the book and in the ebook that you'll be able to get, they can all be transferred to different areas of the neck. Most of these just fall into a little one or two string, 3 or 4 fret area. So you can get a large amount of practice material out of just a few simple drills by moving them all over the fretboard and playing them in different combinations. So what you want to do when you play something, these types of drills where, say, we're playing in one area of the neck here, where I'm going to play the 9th, 10th, 12th fret on the 4th string and the 3rd string. I'm just going to be working right here. What you want to do when you're working on it, I mean, you can play something as simple as this, going up and back down. That's cool, because you can work with this. Because here's what I want you to do when you work on this. You want to play this. Say when you play it, when you practice later tonight when you go home, because we all practice before we go to bed, right? Yeah, and when we get up, first thing we do. Think about how your left hand feels when you're playing it. Don't use any more pressure than you need to get the note to sound. Just think about having a light touch with your left hand. Don't grab it, manhandle it. Because when you see guys play fast and they're ripping, they're not gripping real hard. They're just using enough pressure to get the note to sound.
Yeah, because if you got enough distortion on there, even if your note buzzes, it'll still pick it up.
True, and it doesn't even have to do with distortion. It just has to do with feeling relaxed. So be aware of the sensation in your left hand when you're playing this little passage. Then when you get up at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning to practice again, because we all get up at 6 a.m. and practice, I want you to think about your right hand and not using any more motion than you need to play that same little phrase like that. And something that will help you maintain that minimal motion, when you pick your pickup, don't grab it too tight. Think about, you ever pick up like a ladybug or something like that? If you pick up like a bug and you don't want to squash it, but you don't want it to get away, that's how much pressure you want to have. You want to hold it tight enough so that you're not going to drop it, or so that the bug's not going to get away, but you don't want to kill it. So if you don't over squeeze, that gets rid of the tension. So if you hold it lightly, that keeps the tension from happening, and it lets everything flow.
Does your picking style matter, like the way you hold the pick?
Sure, to some degree it does. Yeah, to some degree it does. But everybody's hand is shaped differently.
I just throw last 3 fingers out wide.
Yeah. Just think about the tension. Just think about not gripping it any harder than you have to in order to you don't want to kill the bug. So that's your focus next time you practice these little small area drills. So first time you play it through them for one practice session, just think about your left hand. No more pressure than what you need in order to play them. Second time, don't worry about your left hand. Focus in on your right hand. Okay, not going to hold the pick too tight, and just going to work on not moving the pick, a whole lot further than what you need to get the strings to sound. And then you can work on it later on. And as you play it the next time, think about, okay, is my neck tight? Does my shoulder hurt after I play for a while? Does my leg hurt? Am I all tensed up? Just start to be aware of the different parts of your body. And each time you practice, be aware of a different one. So one day I'm left hand, next day I'm thinking about how my right hand feels, next day I'm thinking about, why does my neck hurt after I play? Well, it's because I'm leading like this, because I'm all tensed up, or I got my head twisted back, or I got my arm all the way over here. It's just a matter of becoming aware of these things. You have to be aware of them in order to be able to fix them, and most people aren't aware of them, just like most guys don't think about vibrato initially. So take everything, slow with this stuff, and just work on patterns in small areas of the neck. You get good at these fundamental mechanics of playing little 6-note phrases while being aware of what's going on, and then later on down the road, you work on integrating those into different types of patterns and licks. These are the building blocks of being able to play these, you know, cool lead guitar type stuff.